like, subscribe, and leave a comment. So here's a review of AEW All Out 2024 in Chicago. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment. So it starts with MJF versus Daniel Garcia. Really good match. Obviously, two of the best wrestlers in AEW. Was there some shenanigans? Yes, there was some shenanigans. In the end, come on now, MJF got the victory, but then Danny Garcia takes out MJF afterwards. Then we have the BCC versus the Young Bucks for the tag team titles, the AEW tag team titles. Really good match. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it. But in the end, one of the best tag teams ever, the Young Bucks get the victory. Then we have Will Ospreay, the international champion, versus Pac in a absolute barn burner of a match. This is probably another 5-star presentation from Will Ospreay again. I think he's on 41 at the moment, so 41 5-star plus matches for Will Ospreay. This could be 42, I'm not sure, but it could definitely be 42. But in the end, Will Ospreay gets the victory. Then we have Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale in Chicago Street Fight. Really good match. Go and watch it. Obviously, you had Stokely ringside. There was interference, I believe, but in the end, Chris Statlander got the victory. I think she deserved it. Then we have Orange Cassidy versus Tanoshi Takeshita versus Mark Briscoe versus Okada in a 4-way match for the Continental Championship. This was a really good match. Once again, you know, you hear me say that all the time, but this was a really good match. Go and watch it. If you haven't seen it, you hear me say that as well, but go and watch the whole event if you haven't seen it. But in the end, Okada got the victory. Then we have Mercedes Moné, the CEO, versus Hikaru Shida. I believe her name is, I think it's Hikaru Shida. Yeah, in a really good match for the TBS title. Really good match. This was a better, I'm not going to say a better match, but the crowd was more into it than Mercedes Moné's All-In match versus Britt Baker. The actual crowd was more into this one than her previous fight. So really good match here, and Mercedes Moné got the victory. Then we have Bryan Danielson, the AEW World Champion, versus Jack Perry for the AEW World Championship. Yes, you guessed it. Really good match. This is a really good match. Obviously, Bryan Danielson is one of the best wrestlers ever to ever do this. Held championships in 2 organizations, WWE and AEW. Held the World Championship in both. That's a big feat. But in the end, Bryan Danielson got the victory. Then after that, Christian Cage came down to cash in, but then the BCC stopped him from doing it. And then Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli turned on Bryan Danielson. What the hell's going on? Crazy. Then the main event, the rivalry versus Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page in a cage match, lights out cage match. You had chairs, tables, tacks, syringes, pieces of wood, sharp pieces of wood. You had everything. Really good match, and cinder blocks as well. But in the end, after a hellacious match and a hellacious chair shot, Hangman Adam Page got the victory, and that was the right decision.